Tonight on Cosmic Cantina, we're going on an adventure into the unknown and chaotic world of non-local consciousness. Can our thoughts and intentions manipulate the world around us? We try to find the answers through a recently created app called Randonautica. We set our intentions and delve out into the great beyond to discover the true nature of our reality. We talk about stories of people finding joy, meaningful messages, and even murder. Good and possibly dark times ahead. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and every week I go to my favorite bar, Cosmic Cantina, and kick back with my co-hosts, Josh Golembeski and Matt O'Connor. We talk about aliens, Bigfoot, ghosts, ancient cultures, and anything from the unseen world that needs a little illumination. Welcome to Cosmic Cantina. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and tonight I'm drinking a classy Sauvignon Blanc from Kim Crawford. Woo!
Kimmy.
Very nice. I am drinking a Korean beer, the Kirin Ichiban. It's pretty classic.
Okay.
You know,
Ichiban.
I thought the Japanese knew their way around a brewery, but these Koreans, they really know what they're doing. So good for them. Good
Yeah, I
stuff.
like Korean beer.
Yeah.
I myself am overly passionate still about Ghostfish IPA. It's amazing. I'm all in. I'm fully committed. A little too deeply. It's one of my problems in life. If I like something, I'm really into it to a default. So right now, I'm crushing Ghostfish. A little too much.
Nice.
It was my birthday recently, and I've been drinking like multiple nights in a row. And I need to take it back a notch. But tonight, I'm getting...
Not tonight.
We're going deep.
Not
And
tonight.
I'm getting a buzz. Let's do this.
Both of your birthdays, actually, because you're both Leos.
We are.
Yeah, like a
Powerful
week
Leos.
apart from each other.
Yep. There's a lot of attention
surrounded.
seeking in this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm just like the quiet person with my stupid news story. Speaking of news story, all right, we're going to talk about something we did an experiment on, but I want to set it up by talking about something called game theory. If you don't know what game theory is, just really quickly, game theory emerged as a distinct subdiscipline of applied mathematics and economics and social science with the publication that happened in 1944 with a Hungarian mathematician, John van Neumann. So game theory has been used throughout institutions to figure out outcomes, whether it's political, war, social, any kind of situation. And you can use it in any situation, just if it's a personal one, too. They have many different versions of game theory. So the news stories I want to bring up are sort of related to our little experiment. So I just want to bring them up really quickly. So to exercise how game theory has been used in political situations, there's an article from 2009 that says... from the New York Times, can game theory predict when Iran will get the bomb? So this is back in 2009. There's an expert who puts together this massive spreadsheet of all the people that could possibly be involved with the Iran nuclear bomb building or the nuclear system. And through this spreadsheet, he comes up with a number. So in this article, he says, it consists of a single number that represents the most likely consensus of all the players. So he begins the spreadsheet with 160. That's bomb-making territory. But by the end of it, it settles at 118. And that means that Iran won't make a nuclear bomb by early 2010, according to his forecast, and Iran will be on the brink of developing one, but then it will stop and go no further. So, as you know, it's not 2009, and the Iranian nuclear system is always on the forefront of what's going on in the political spectrum. But do they have one? No one's really confirmed. Everyone just talks about it. So could he be right? But this is one of the major things that they use this for, like what would be the outcome of a certain political situation.
Okay. I feel like I could have used game theory during my dating years. You know, just to see how this was all going to turn out.
I was
Usually
actually
poorly. I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty badly.
Decision
You did all
number
right
one.
in the end, though.
Yeah. I lucked out on the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, I should think these things through like this. I mean, I saw one of the spreadsheets that has been created for game theory, and literally, like, the first line says, creating the Matrix. I was like, sweet, I'm in.
I'm in.
So just to make this a little bit more recent, in 2018, an article was published in Business Insiders called What Game Theory Tells Us About Politics and Society. This is a guy who wrote a book called Cycles of Conflict, the economic model, and he uses game theory to predict the policies that we're going to make in America to go forward or not go forward. So I just thought that was interesting. So this is getting into something that we've experimented ourselves, and it is an actual app. So it's based on some kind of algorithm, and I know, Josh, you're going to explain what that is. So game theory is built on decisions that people make and patterns that people make and how that would happen. But an algorithm, if, I'm just going to explain this if you don't know what it is. Algorithm is a computer program that extracts data from an internet behaviors and automatically selects and prioritizes content for us to see and take part in. So that's an algorithm. But this app is so mysterious. We're not sure where the algorithm is coming from and how they're building behavioral intentions into it. So, Josh, I'm going to let you take it away because it's about to get really spooky.
Ooh, it's Randonautica. Right now, it's really, really popular with the kids on TikTok and social media. There's been a bunch of big videos that have come out where people have put their intention into the app and then found themselves at a location where they witnessed something crazy, from dead bodies to weird occult symbolism to even sweet things like hearts and fun things, a wide variety of things that seem legit. So what is Randonautica? What is it? For me, it is a exercise in non-locality, but we'll get to that. This is what they say on their website, which is pretty cool, actually. They got a cool website. And the guy who runs it, the CEO, his name's Josh, so I automatically like him. He looks like he'd be my cousin. The Randonautica app was created...
I love how you deduct people. You're like, he's great. He has a beard. His name's Josh. We're in.
He was talking about spirituality. I was like, this guy fucks. So,
Josh game theory. Okay, go.
Yep.
The Randonautica app was created to encourage users to venture outside of their day-to-day routine by using a quantum random number generator to derive a coordinate to journey to. The app was developed by the global movement, the Randonauts. The phenomenon has taken the world by storm, and there are millions of Randonauts exploring their surroundings in nearly every country. So, just a quick explanation of how you use the app is it's pretty rudimentary. This is actually just a beta of this app. So whatever's coming out, this isn't even the best version of it, and it's already really popular with millions of users. But it basically generates a coordinate for you to go to and puts it on a map, and you're supposed to go there and explore the area. And you put your intention into the phone. So right before it gives you the coordinate, you think of something, and you hope that's what it shows you. That's a very basic understanding of it. When you get in the app, it's a little more complicated than that. But it's sweeping the internet, and TikTok is all over it. And we actually did a little experimenting with it ourselves, right, guys?
Yeah.
We did.
Just so you know, you can't actually type your intention in. So it cannot create an algorithm based on a word. You literally have to think about it, and it just automatically generates something. So that's what's weird about it.
Yeah, I thought it was super gimmicky when I first heard about it, because it was like, oh, you just think about something and it'll the universe will just magically make it appear. And there's a little more to it than that, but
Well, quick. I just want to say the science of non-locality is really interesting, because we know from, before we get into our stories, I just want to break down, how is something like this possible? What does it really even mean? That if that's really possible, you're putting your intention into a phone and a random number generator suddenly tells you where to go and you find what you're looking for. I mean, that's bizarre, but what does that mean? Well, if you just look at some of the science behind non-locality, if consciousness is not local, then this whole thing makes sense, and it's all possible. If not, it just feels like magic. It feels like a bunch of bullshit. And I think most Randonaut experiences are bullshit because people aren't putting enough attention into it. It's not like you can just think for a second and this random number generator is going to know what you're talking about. It's not how it works. What we know from these studies, like the Maharishi effect in the 70s, where large groups of people, if they meditated together in one area, it would lower the crime rate just from them meditating, not even putting their attention in anything. So we know that consciousness is could be non-local. There's a lot more examples of that stuff. I don't want to go deep into it, but It's fascinating. So what you need to do, I think, is if you're using this app, yes, you can go have fun with it. And the examples you're seeing on the internet are like 1 of 8 million tries, right? So of course, 1 out of 8 million tries, someone's going to find something weird. If millions of people just walked outside for 100 yards and stopped, one person would find like a dead pigeon or something fucked up, right? So it's not probably really working. What would work, and what I think could work, which is fascinating based off the research of the peace intentions experiments and the Maharishi effect, if you put intention over time into it, it probably would have a much greater chance of success, whatever you're looking for, especially with a group of people. And there are studies that show groups of people meditating and setting direct intention at something can cause a positive effect, from remote healing to a variety of other things. So I think if people really want this to work, they need to really put focus into it with a group of friends and meditate for like a full week, 40 minutes a day, and putting intention to what they want to find, and then use the app. Then I think you'd see something work. But that is my take on the Randonauts.
Well, I mean, but like you're being such a pooper right now, because like we tried it, and we did get some strange stuff, and we didn't meditate for 40 minutes a day for like a couple weeks, Josh.
Yes, it could still work. I'm just saying it'd be the more likely it's going to work, and the more powerful it could be. I know what you're saying, and I will play devil's advocate to myself.
Like, I personally tried it, maybe I went to like 10 different locations over the past couple of weeks, just trying it out. And I think it yielded 1 or 2 times where something was like, oh, that's interesting. So out of that, like, I think what Josh is saying is maybe if we all kind of like really took 20 minutes to just pump our intentions, like really finger fuck those intentions into this thing.
And just like
Jesus.
creepy focus on it. Like dry the shit out of like something, just slowly work it. Yeah.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't do any of those. Jesus.
I mean, Melissa, let's not get graphic. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's always my fault.
But
I'm always the problem.
Yeah, I think maybe
this one does not fuck.
I don't know, maybe like if we tried that, we might get more consistent results, like instead of 1 in 10 kind of thing. But anyway, I've heard a lot of people talk about this sort of being related to chaos magic in some ways.
Yes, I didn't think of that, maybe, but you are correct.
But you think so?
Yeah, because well, especially for the creepy story you're going to tell later, but the idea that you're putting in an intention that there's millions of people having the same intention, and especially if it's something dark, that might be the thing. Because the thing with chaos magic is you can use the idea that there's like a news story on CNN, and you can use the energy just from everybody watching that disgusting news story to charge something, right? That's the idea of chaos magic. Not just thoughts, but just like using other people's attention into something that's existing. So that could be true for this, that like people are using it in a dark way to like bring up something dark.
Wait, so you're saying like everyone who's putting their intention into this, it's something stealing it and using it for like another purpose?
No, meaning that like there's a lot of people with the same intention. Like you're using it like and you tap into that dark intention, right? So chaos magic, like I said, let's just say there's a CNN or Fox News story and it's really bad, and so everyone who is watching that specific story at that specific time is probably feeling the same way you are. So you use that energy into something that you want. Like you channel it, you use everyone's intention and their energy towards that thing to put it towards something that you want.
Right. It's a personal thing, right? It's like you're kind of I don't want to say the secret. But it's similar kind of idea of like wanting things like that. Yeah, the secret. But I thought it was I thought it was like when I looked up like chaos theory, I thought it sounded a little bit more like that kind of idea too. Like so that just a quick chaos theory explanation. Chaos theory is the interdisciplinary theory stating that within the apparent randomness of chaotic complex systems, there's an underlying pattern or like interconnectedness, constant feedback loops, repetition, self-similarity, fractals, and self-organization. So it's kind of like that entropy idea of like within the chaos, there is there are things kind of lining up, and if you can kind of set your intention and like guide the randomness. And it's that whole idea of what was the Global Consciousness Project, where they had like the random generated numbers, and they were saying like during huge events in the world like 9/11 and all those other things, that they were kind of like they saw like less randomness happening, and it was like people's
coherence,
consciousness. People's consciousness was kind of affected